Okay, students, now we're going to do the math level worksheet 2 on division. If you haven't done this worksheet, please go and do it before you watch this video. Okay, you have to at least try all the questions before you look at this video. Now, if you have done the worksheet, you may proceed to the questions. Okay, now let's read this question together. I'm going to pull out laser pointer. Okay, question 2 of the worksheet on page 2 of the level worksheet. Now, a number when divided by 9 gives a quotient of 52 and a remainder of 3. Find this number. Now, as always, take out a highlighter and highlight the keywords. Now, there is a number. This is a mystery. You really have to find out what this number is. And that's the whole point of the question. Okay, when this number is divided by 9, it gives a quotient of 52 and a remainder of 3. Find this number. Wow. Just one line and maybe two extra words, and there's so much to do, right? It seems very simple. Wow, just, two short sentences, but actually there's a lot going on. First, you have to know that these two numbers over here are referring to the same number. So there's only one number you need to find. That's why I draw a double arrow here. And the next thing is that there's so many things going on. There's divided by 9, there's quotient, there's remainder. So what exactly are we supposed to do? Now, let me give you a simple example to make sense of this question. Let's give an example like 11 divided by 5, okay? Now 11 divided by 5, if you do the working, I'll just do it very quickly, okay? You should have 2 remainder 1. Okay, this is something that you're familiar with, okay? I'm actually going to write down some terms for you. Okay, now 11 is called a dividend. 5 is called a divisor. 2 is called the quotient. And 1 is called the remainder. Okay, now if you understand what I just said, then you realize that actually the question is not that difficult after all. Over here at the top, where the question is, you can actually label all these highlighted keywords with all these new terms that you have learned today. Okay, so the number over here is actually the dividend. Okay, it's called the dividend. 9 is the divisor. 52 is the quotient. And 3 is the remainder. Okay, so let's make sense of this over here and make it a bit more simple for you. Let's form an equation using what we have here to see how the dividend, divisor, and quotient and remainder are related. Now, if you look very carefully, how did we get the number 10 here? Well, we got it by taking 2 times 5 to get the 10. Okay, so actually, right, the number 11 is 2 times 5 plus 1. Can I say that again? The number 11 is 2 times 5 plus 1. That means the dividend is equals to the divisor times the quotient plus the remainder. Okay, I'm going to write this out for you. Okay, I'm going to write this out so that at least it's clearer for you. I'm going to write it at the bottom. Okay, so the dividend is actually equals to the divisor times the quotient plus the remainder. And I'm going to bracket this so that you can remember to do the multiplication first. So now with this in mind, okay, we can see that 11, the dividend, equals to 5 times 2 plus 1. And that is actually correct. Okay, I'm going to mark it correct myself. So now we can look at the question and solve it very easily. Now you see the dividend, which is unknown, is equals to the divisor, which is 9, times the quotient plus the remainder. Okay, and I'm not going to finish this question for you. Okay, because I feel that from this step onwards, this is something that you can do yourself. You have to use your own working to take 52 times 9, and after you find the answer, then you add the 3. But what I really want you to learn today is this formula at the bottom. The dividend equals to the divisor times the quotient plus the remainder. Okay, let's move on to question number 3. Now, a cake box can only hold 3 pieces of cakes. If Kyrun buys 62 pieces of cakes, what is the minimum number of cake boxes that he would need? Interesting. This is what we call a real world problem. Okay, a real world. I'm going to write it down for you. This is a real world problem. You don't learn math for fun. You learn math to solve problems in the world. Okay, because you may have to open a bakery one day and this will be a problem for you. Okay, we're going to highlight keywords again. A cake box can only hold 3 pieces of cakes. Now let's pause here for a while. If the box can only hold 3 pieces of cakes, this is a maximum concept. That means the box has got a maximum space to hold 3 pieces of cakes. So can it hold 2 pieces of cakes? Yes. Can it hold 1 piece of cake? Of course. Can it hold no pieces of cake? Can also, but why would you do that, right? So actually a cake box, right? A cake box in this story can hold either 3 pieces, 2 pieces, or 1 piece. Okay, look at what I just drew. So it's possible for the cake box to hold 1, 2, or 3 pieces. Okay, but we'll see how this is important later. Now, Khairun bought 62 pieces of cake. This is called the given total. Given total. You have learned model drawing before. What's the minimum number of cake boxes that he will need? It's very interesting now. So let's think about it. Okay, every box can hold a maximum of 3 pieces of cake. He has 62 pieces of cakes. What's the minimum number of cake boxes? Basically, we want to make Kyrun wants to use as little cake boxes as possible. Okay, so I'm just going to do this like in a very slow fashion. I'm just going to distribute this like giving out cards. So actually, if you think about it, right, how he would actually solve this problem, the long way is to just draw a very tiring model out. Okay, first box three, next box three cakes, next box 3 cakes. We can go on forever and ever. We'll still eventually get the answer, but I don't think this is a good idea. Now, the best way to do it is to use our understanding of division to solve this problem. Okay, and by doing that, we have to go back to the idea of the dividend, divisor, quotient, and remainder. Okay, so I'm going to do the working now. 62 is the given total. This will be the dividend divided by 3, the maximum number of cakes in each box. Now, you will solve this problem using what you have learned previously. Sorry, I made a mistake. Okay, sorry. Okay, and then you get 0 here. Bring this down, and then because you cannot minus, and because over here, 2 cannot divide by 3, right? So here you put a 0, and actually you're done. Okay, so right now, 62 divided by 3, you get 20 remainder 2. Now let's make sense of this number sentence over here. The dividend divided by the divisor gives you a quotient of 20 and 2. This, okay? Now, how is this 3 related to this number 20? Well, 3 is the maximum number of cakes that each box can hold. Remember here we said that every box can hold maximum of 3. Means you can also put 2 or 1 cake inside, but you'll just be wasting a lot of space, but it's still possible. Each box can hold 3. This is the total number of cakes. That means this 20 over here is the number of boxes that has 3 pieces of cakes in them. I repeat, this 20 refers to the number of cake boxes that have 3 pieces of cakes in each of them. And this leftover cake, what's going to happen to it? Kyrun still has to sell, right? But can he put 2 cakes into an extra box? Yes, he can, because the maximum space in each box is actually 3, so you can actually put less. Okay? Now, so that means he has 20 boxes and 2 extra cakes. And these 2 extra cakes will go into extra box. So that means because you need extra box for the two cakes, you need a total of 20 plus 1. Okay, this this one box over here actually is meant to store the extra two cakes. Okay, so I'm actually going to write a statement properly. Number of boxes is 20 plus 1 is equals to 21. Okay, some of you may have written 20. That's incorrect. Don't forget that the extra two cakes can still fit into another box. Okay, let's move on to the fourth question. Now, this is a not so difficult question compared to the other two, but it's still challenging. Okay, now, 8 similar books and one diary cost 156. Each diary costs 36. Find the cost of one book. Now, this is a very simple model drawing question where there are 8 similar books and one diary. Okay, so I'm going to draw the bar with 8 similar books. Okay, one, two. Okay, sorry, try to make sure that your bars look similar. Okay, these are the books. And then diary, you don't know how much. So I'm just going to draw a bar that is not the same as the one on top. Okay. Now, this is a given total of $156. The diary cost $36. And they ask you to find the book. So usually what I like to do is I like to label each unit for the books to be 1U or 1 unit. Okay, you want to label as 1B also can. B that stands for books, but you do not label this as 1U. And make sure that this bar is not the same length as all these individual units. If not, you confuse yourself. Okay, so this one is a comparison model with a given total and a given part. You can solve this in 2 steps. Okay, first, you will take $156 minus $36. And I'll actually go further as to label this as 8 units. Okay, because these 8 units belong to the 8 units over here, right? Because 156 is the total minus one part, you get this part over here, which is actually 8 units. So it's easier for you to understand and how to solve this question later. So 156 minus 36, you can easily use mental sum, and you get $120. And then you solve it by taking 1 unit equals 120 divided by the 8 units. And this one, you will solve it yourself. I'm not here to give you answers. I'm here to teach you the method. Okay? Just take note that when it comes to division, multiplication, addition, or subtraction moving forward, there'll be a lot of model drawing. So get a good habit. Okay? If not, thank you.